Welcome. In this video I'm going to be educating you on various aspects of how you would build your profit. And starting off, it will just be builds, but this is just for this segment. Later we will be discussing strategy, starting off with the charge cannon weapon. It does do more damage and it has a short charge time, and it has good effects that reward accuracy and all that. But the big issue with it is Plague, on the other hand, does less damage, and it takes a bit longer to fully charge. But you can shoot them and afflict them with Plague, which is damage over time, and it will actually do good amount of damage, and it doesn't rely on them being in your line of sight. Now to mainframe mods. Salvation is the only one you should run, no contest. In this version of the game, it is the only one that works, and it has good longevity effects. Wrath, however, none of its effects work. I have tested this. I've confirmed it with the devs. It does not work. So do not run Wrath. It just doesn't work. On to Sentinel drones, you have Harbinger. This is your tanky version. It is good and my preferable one to run, because it doesn't really get destroyed as easily. While with Martyr, you do get it destroyed and you do get a reward when you destroy it, but it's kind of not as good as the effects of Harbinger. On to Vengeance Strike. Inferno is the one I would run from low to mid elo, mainly because of its barrage radius and its damage over time being a helpful crutch. Trial, on the other hand, it's essentially just straight land on them. Just shoot that at them and it'll have an immediate effect. While okay, it's basically the effect of a Sentinel drone barrage, which is not as good because your Sentinel drone that you can summon also gets a barrage. So it's not as good in that regard. In this portion of the video, I will be describing how you should be thinking while playing Prophet. Now, first off, you will notice my teammate is playing Heartbreaker. This is viable when combined with Prophet, but requires a very hit and run, be very on the move, hard to pin down type of gameplay. So you never want to not be backing up from an engagement. Starting off with, early game, this is something you will learn, but you want to farm scout drones immediately. Scout drones are early game easy access to repair kits and energy cells. This helps you grind like any kind of MOBA, really, to get higher levels. And they can also drop mods, reactor boost, only weak versions, and weak dome shields. This is helpful. Either of them could work for Prophet. as you will see, I got the drop on. I got ambushed. I didn't look behind me for a bit. But you will see I had immediately applied Plague to him. And this is very good because as soon as he's got Plague, it'll just do 200 damage over time. And if you look at the beginning, 200 damage times 6, you're basically wiping his shields. Now, here's with Fenris. Fenris is actually very hard to kill as Prophet. Because Prophet requires precision aim, Fenris only has a critical spot, like, on their like, head, essentially. But it's on their, like, head and their gun. It's not high profile. You'll struggle a lot of the time, but the hitbox can be forgiving. And after that, obviously, me and my teammate went to go grab the stuff from the drop. But you always got to be prepared. Your teammates could do something that you don't really understand, and it could be a good thing or a bad thing. That's just how it is. I didn't understand my teammate at the time, so I decided I was just going to do some fun jokes and do my invented moonwalk tech, which, you know, has no practical purposes, but it's very fun. Now, I also would like to make this a point, but shooting scout drones is a waste when one melee can destroy them. I would highly recommend not wasting ammo on them, as this can give away your position and can cause many aspects of just a lot of annoyances. For instance, you could get ambushed. However, I think you'll see soon some good pre-planned gameplay from Prophet. As you will see, I hear the enemy on the next rogue drone spot. I hear them vaguely in the background and proceed to immediately drop my sentinel drone. The reason why I do this is because the sentinel drone takes a while to channel, and, well, not a while, but a short amount of time. So as soon as they're there, it's already in their face. As you will notice though, one thing you will need to keep in mind when fighting the rogue drones, their rockets are easily dodgeable as long as you use dash, and can lead to you taking 0 damage, which is beneficial if you're going into a team fight. Combat system upgraded. Now, when I'm going up to the next rogue drone spot, I hear the enemy approaching. I hear them because there was branch snapping and such, but I instantly call my sentinel drone because they'll do less damage to me, and they'll be shooting the drone. It's a win-win. But the Fenris, I realized, is doing a lot of damage, and I knew I could not deal with that at that point in time. So I scared them away and tried to keep Plague on them for as long as possible, even though I was very low. So then I started to repair. Now they can't repair as fast as me because they have Plague, so they're going to be taking constant damage. But you'll see, because of the Inferno, they were taking constant damage while they were trying to engage. So it punished their movement. This is how you should be using Inferno. And it should not be used as pure damage. it should be used as kind of a mental tool to try and psych the enemy out from wanting to attack you, because Prophet, his main damage is from his gun, and all of his abilities are meant to manipulate the enemy in a way that would keep them away from Prophet, because if they get close to you, you definitely get shredded. Because a lot of the characters in this game, all the hunters, they're very close range. Aside from Heartbreaker, which you are forced to duel with. There's not much you can do about Heartbreaker in that situation. She sometimes might want to get close to you. In that case, she can be dealt with, because Plague constantly pops up damage numbers, which is her big kryptonite when she goes into stealth. Because you can somewhat shoot her, and she will be eviscerated. Because if she's running the main frame that lets her heal, she basically recovers just 100 health a second. And if she's going fast and she's low, she dies because she's not healing from the... Like, if she's going the fast, close build, then she just gets melted because she's not healing. Because you can't repair while you're cloaked. Now you should start seeing how you should play with a Heartbreaker, where your entire goal is to play far away. I, however, decided to close the distance, because I was not seeing their teammate, and there was a possibility they were trying to pop the Colossus. And if you can shoot them as Prophet, you can basically ruin the entire cancer back. I see it in the top right, and you decide to fly a burn area, try and zone off their teammate. It did not work. And I decided to run, because that is what you should do against Colossus, because you have no chance of destroying it in any conceivable fashion, because of its shield regain. It's just not viable. Now, one thing I will say, my teammate died because he tried standing up to it, even though I tried running. This is not the play, especially if you're Heartbreaker, you should be running away. However, of course, misplays should not be overly punished. And you shouldn't hate on them for that. That's just them. Now, instead of doing the respawn booster, I decided to take this 1v1, because I can win this. I deploy my Sentinel drone just in case, so that if he goes around the corner, it'll still do damage to him, and if he goes after me, he just gets destroyed. Now, there is a big issue with what I'm about to do, because I decided to close the distance really aggressively, and this is okay, because they were just preparing, but my placement of my airstrike was bad, and this allowed them to kill me. However, at this point in time, I believed this was a winnable situation, because my teammate should have cloaked or done something, but they didn't, and that kind of was the nail in the coffin. You can't really do anything if you're... This is a very team-heavy game. Your teammate can be bad, and it will ruin some of your chances. It should not equate to your overall experience, because there's more odds that both the enemies are bad than one of, like, not like the best in the world. Like, it should not be a deciding factor, and they'll get better with Elo anyway. Now, anyway, this wraps up the video for my profit build and overall general guide. Now, I will say this, I may do a video that would show you what you should do in many situations, and it should be decent, but if you follow the advice in this video, you should get very, very good profit stats.